You mentioned yesterday that you were making deliveries.
Yep.
I guess, would you be able to shed light on just how those costs are for you? Because that's something that people really don't understand at all. Is shipping and fuel costs can be very expensive.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of costs people don't really know. So, like for us, at the current cattle market prices, when we take something to the processor and we get it back per pound of ground beef, we're about $7.50 a pound. No, $8 a pound. Sorry. Up to $8.50 just per single pound of meat returned. That's just to buy the cow. Or basically purchase the cow, right? Because what we did to get a better handle on our numbers is we started another LLC. So Horstman Livestock it owns live animals, and Horstman Cattle Company is the meat business. So Horstman Cattle Co. purchases animals from Horstman Livestock at a fair market rate, or a rate, determined for the animal it's being sold, right?
So you're running two separate businesses?
Yeah, because we got to have those books. Because what was happening was you couldn't really tell how, like when we were raising animals, like Horstman Cattle Company used to own all the cows too. And so like when you were raising the animal from a calf to the finish, to the meat business, there was no real way to account for how much that animal, you would know like what it would have been sold for, but it's hard to tell like how much inputs went into like the cow herd versus the meat business versus, just big bunch of mess.
Would Horseman Cattle Co. exist without the other side?
Could it?
Yeah.
Could our meat business exist without Horseman Livestock? Yeah, we would source from other regenerative farms. We do some of that. Horseman Livestock sources from other regenerative farms right now. Then we graze them.
See.
So, but basically what we've determined is for pricing, it's about $8.50 per pound of beef returned, and then processing is $2. So we're like $6.50, $7 of is what it costs for just the meat, plus $2 for processing, and so we got to have, if it's let's say it's $6.50 for the meat, $2 for the processing, that's $8.50 we got to have for a pound of beef just to break even. No, so that's why our prices are. By the time we run ads, I have 2 people that help ads and emails and Shopify and tax and all these other things. I mean, it adds up. Like our margins on the meat business with how high the cattle prices are not good.
And this is what I'm trying to get at is perception is not always reality, to where, you might see a farm that is exceedingly doing well because they're running so many cattle, but the profit's not necessarily high.
Yeah, like right now, with how high the cattle prices has been, it's been really good for Horseman Livestock, right? Our live animal business. But our meat business side, we're more focused on just maintaining the customers we've had. If we pick up organic new customers, that's great. But we're more focused on maintaining our customer base and until the cattle market comes down. Because right now, we're breaking even at best on the meat business side.
At best.
At best. Because cattle prices, because we've hit
Can you explain why, like where it stands, why you say at best?
Because we've hit the price of what we can ask per pound of ground beef and sell it like to a consumer.
That will actually pay it, yeah.
Yeah, we've hit that. I think we've hit the max there versus, and what the cattle market is saying it's for.
Okay. Dang.
So, yeah, don't start a meat business.
Well, see, that's
But like when the cattle market comes down, you know, like, right, there'll be some time where, you know, we might make $1 a pound again, right? The margins on ground beef is like everybody thinks you're just making a killing.
yeah, and that's what I'm trying to show to the consumers. They think that
Yeah.
because whenever prices increase, they think that equates that means the rancher's raking in the dough.
Yeah. I mean, it is probably for the case of the big box stores, right? But like the farm, the family farm.
Yeah, but the ranchers that they think are making the money, like you and all the other ones that I'm meeting, that's what they think.
Yeah. Yeah, because we charge more. No, it's because we're not doing it at scale, and the main thing at scale is processing, right?
Would you say processing is the biggest bottleneck for anyone raising animals?
Price-wise, yes. But there's tons of processors out there, right? It's not a lack of processors. It's just that the processors, you know, it's so expensive.
But do you think that's because of the lack of processors, though?
To an extent,
I
but
know
they're also...
Because even like New Hampshire, for example, they're kind of talking about you're in a 2-year wait list in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that could have something to do. Like around here, you could, like we could call and get in the next couple weeks somewhere if we needed to. I mean, they just built another big cow plant you can go to. So it's like labor, right? It all comes down to labor and what you're paying your workforce and the quality of your workforce. Like our one processor has pretty good labor, right? It's just good people. Not saying all processors and, undervalued, whatever. But
Do you think that's a uniquely Missouri thing? Because agriculture here is...
yeah, I mean,
Still seems to be
we're
way-
a big cow state.
I was going to say, it seems like Missouri, the culture of agriculture is way more connected and still together versus a lot of other states.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that could be some of it. I mean, I can, within a 45-minute drive of where we're sitting right now, I could be to 3 USDA processing plants and a handful of state plants within a 45-minute drive.
Yeah, see, that's a way different...
Yeah, but
situation.
but it's still high,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And I don't know. And we look at that, like we could put 40 cows. We do about 70 to 80 beeves a year. We could put 2 semi-loads together and ship them to a plant that could do 40 at a time, where we could get, bring them all back at 40, right? And probably cut our processing bill in half. But that defeats kind of our mission of local, right? Using a local, like the owner of the processor lives 10 minutes from here, right? Like he'll be at my wedding in a week type stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so there's something to that too. So it just, that goes back to the ranch's mission.